Hey, hello everyone. If you are a new fighter, like fairly new, maybe you just fought for maybe 2 years, then this episode is for you. If you feel stuck, if you feel like you want to achieve more, but you don't know how do you even start with this one is for you. So listen, let me ask you some questions and tell me if you recognize any of these things or feelings. So you don't know if you can do it. Like you want to achieve something more in kickboxing, but you don't know if you can do it. You doubt yourself. Can I really do this? You don't know if it's worth the hard work. Well, is it? This is a good question to sometimes ask yourself this question. So if I want to become a world champion, is it really worth it? It sounds like a lot of work. I will answer that. Another thing could be that you don't know where do you even start. Like becoming a world champion, that's a big deal. How do you even start? What do you do? What's the first step? If you feel like this, trust me, I will get to that also. Do you get annoyed by yourself because you do not perform well at tournaments? And do you sometimes feel like your coach is maybe not that interested in you because you are the newcomer and your coach is not giving you a whole lot of attention due to that? If you feel any of these things, listen to this episode. If not, just move on. I don't want to waste anyone's time. But let's get started. If you don't know if you can do it, but you really want to do it and you have a lot of energy in kickboxing, like you just have a desire within you that you would like to try and see if you can do it, but you really doubt if you can, my advice to you is to do it. Go all in. You know what they say, every black belt is a white belt that didn't give up, because that's so true. Everyone you see around you who is that good, anyone who inspires you, are people who didn't know if they could do it anytime, like not anytime, but trust me, at some point in their career, they doubted themselves. And if they listened to that doubt, you would have never found them to be your inspiration. They wouldn't have inspired so many people. You cannot listen to that voice inside of you. If you want to do it, just do it. If you find out in 2 3 years that it isn't for you anyway, that's okay. That's totally fine. But you know what they say, that we regret all the things we don't do? You hear that hundreds of times. It's because it's true. And you don't want to be one of those people who regret not trying. And if you then figure out, oh, I don't want to do this, I want to do something else, I just want to be a coach or something, that's so fine. It doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that you change your mind, and everyone can change their mind. I mean, I want to be a doctor or a policeman, depending on when you asked me when I was younger. I don't want that anymore. I changed my mind. It's totally fine. So do it. Another thing, is it hard? Is it worth the hard work? And let me be honest with you, there's only one way to figure that out. Even if the outcome is not that you are a world champion, I truly believe that you will still learn a lot from going on this journey to achieving more in kickboxing. Maybe you will develop something or improve something, and or I mean, you definitely will. If you go in and start practicing more and more and more, you will develop, you will improve. And maybe not only in kickboxing, but maybe you will develop your consistency. You will be able to stay more consistent, and you can use that skill a lot of other places in your life. If you want a new career, if you want to learn another skill, if you learn how to start showing up, you can use that even if you don't do kickboxing anymore. So is it worth it? I'm definitely sure it will be worth it for you. And if not, you can just stop and you will not regret not doing it. For me, for example, I gained a lot of friendships, which is invaluable to me. I love all of these people that I've met in kickboxing. I have the kickboxing skills. I mean, I don't regret that. Even if I'm not doing kickboxing anymore, if I'm in a bad situation somewhere, I will be pretty happy that I have these skills. And another thing is I mastered goal setting. So Goal setting is not just about telling everyone, hey, I want to be a world champion. It's about knowing how do you become a world champion, and do you see how that's valuable to other places in your life? So I want to build a big business, or I want to become a something policeman. Okay, but how? Nobody cares that you want to do it if you don't do it. So you need to know, how do you get to that point? You need to know the path there. And through kickboxing, I learned how to do this, and I can now use it anywhere else. So these are the things that I learned, and this is just in a few years of training kickboxing and taking it seriously. So I'm sure you will get something out of it, and it might not be what you think it will be, but I think it will be worth it for you. If you don't know where to start, let's say you're already training 2 to 4 times a week, but you feel like your growth is stuck. You're not going anywhere really. Here are some advice from me. And these are the advice that I wish someone told me, because I tried a lot of things. I failed a lot. I made a lot of mistakes. And I'm just here to tell you that you don't have to do all of these mistakes. You know, I started kickboxing a few years ago, and I moved abroad. I got a mental coach. I got a sports performance coach. All of these things because I really want to take the sport serious. It's a lot of money. It's yeah, and I had to move abroad. I'm not seeing my family on a daily basis because I'm doing kickboxing, and I just don't want you to go through this. So I just want to share everything with you. And it's also like, you know, if you have to pass a jungle for the first time, you bring your machete and you cut down all the obstacles. And then slowly you upgrade it. You will start to put flat stones where there's a lot of mud, so you can easier and easier pass through the whole jungle. So let's say that the jungle is your kickboxing journey. You know, there is a lot of obstacles in the way. You don't even know how to remove them. So you have to go there, chop it all off one after one. And next time you go there, you will have a trail. You will start upgrading it. It will be nicer and nicer for you to go down this path. And you will start building a road there. And you know, the pro athletes, they have a highway, like they have a full on upgraded highway. And I think I build a road now, and I will just put you on this road with me so you don't have to cut down all the obstacles for yourself. So here's how to start. 1, start by focusing on the things you cannot do. And this can be very hard for some people because it's always hard to ask someone, what am I not good at? And then get a response. But I would recommend you that this is the first place where you start, because if you can start improving the most important things that you are not good at, you have already come a long way. You know, if you take these things that you cannot do and start doing them, I mean, that the optimization is higher than if you take something you're already good at and try to improve it, right? There's a lot more to gain on the things you cannot do. So the first advice is to sit down with your coach and seriously have a talk about what can you not do yet, and then start working on these things. Maybe ask him him or her, your coach, ask for some advice. How can you improve these things? And take the feedback that's coming. Don't get angry or sad. Just take it in. This is for your own purpose. Take it as a learning experience. The next thing is to work on your goal setting. So as I mentioned before, it's not about what your goal is, it's about how do you achieve that goal. And I made a whole episode on that. You can go find it. It's called goal setting. And I break down all the steps, and you can sit and have a notepad and you can answer the questions, and you will have a whole plan. What do you need to do? When do you have to do it? And then you can see how your dreams will unfold in front of you. You will know what to do when you wake up tomorrow morning to become a world champion. That's how much we break down these steps. So go find that episode and find out what is the path to achieve your goal. And then my third advice is to get to work. You have to start. doing it. You have to start practicing. You have to start showing up for yourself. It's not only about training kickboxing, because maybe that's what you're already doing. It's maybe more about learning about what is the game actually about. What are my options in different situations? How do I analyze the situations better? How do I work on my mindset? Maybe these are the things you have to improve and not going to practice. So start showing up for yourself and start doing these things, even though you are not good at it yet, because how would you? You are the beginner. But you have to start somewhere and you will improve and you will get good at it. Start training when no one is watching and just stay consistent, because that will help you a lot. Now, the next thing was to not perform under pressure. So if you cannot do that, one thing that could be stopping you is fear of making mistakes, fear of executing. And you have to start realizing that fear is false evidence appearing real. Okay, let me just say that one more time. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's false, it's fake. Don't listen to it. It's made up. And if you have a fear of not performing well or not executing well, making mistakes, that's the one thing that will hold you back from doing all the things that you're capable of. So if you notice that you can do something in training, but at a competition you're afraid that you cannot do it, it's because you're afraid that you cannot do it. Stop being afraid of not being able to do it, because it's holding you back. And a lot of us are also talking negatively to ourselves, which is ruining us a lot. You have to start talking positively to yourself. Every time you notice that you are banging yourself in the head with some negative words, start saying something positive. And you might not believe it the first 20 or the first 100 times you say that you are good enough, you can do this, you will not make mistakes, but eventually you will. And when you believe it, it will be amazing. And until you believe it, just telling yourself it will be much better, because the more we hear something, the more we believe it. So the more you tell yourself that you are stupid or you cannot do it, the more you will believe that. It's like you can manipulate your own brain by start talking positively to yourself. And it's like you can hack your own brain and it will start working with you instead of against you. The last thing is that you feel that your coach is not helping you, maybe in a way that you don't think is helpful, or like he's not helping you in a way that you find helpful, or not helping you at all because he or she is focusing more on the fighters that are better than you. My advice to you is start asking questions and start showing your coach how serious you are about this. They might not even know that you have these dreams. For them, you might just be a person who shows up 2 times a week, like 50 other people. So why should that person put energy into you and their relationship with you when they don't know that you are serious about it? So start asking questions, start showing interest. How do I do this? How do I do this better? Do you have any things I can improve or work on at home? Anything, just ask them. And then when you ask them and when you get advice, make sure that you go and work on it. Make sure that when you show up next time, you can do it. Okay, maybe not next time, but that you are improving in the skill, so that it's not you just asking questions but not getting anywhere with them. Then it's just wasting everyone's time. So practice it, prove your worth for your coach, show them how serious you are about this. And then always remember that your coach is always watching you. I'm not a coach. I mean, I was a coach for volleyball players, but this is what I hear from all the coaches I've talked with. And I have a lot of interest in like how people are doing things. So I ask coaches like, what do you notice when you are when at a training? And I also had a coach on the podcast, and he said the exact same thing, that we see everything. When the coach walks into the room, they see who is sitting alone, who's talking with people, how are people acting in front of each other. When you do the warm-up, they see how to do the warm-up. How do you do your stretches, or do you just talk while doing your stretches? And it's they see everything. They notice where are you in the group, what kind of person are you. So start helping your teammates because it will show a good sign that you are worth being on the team and that people like to have you around and they rely on you for your advice or for your cheering. And then show them that you're serious even when you think that they are not watching, they are watching you. So make sure that you show them that you are serious because you are actually doing your stretches, you're actually doing your warm-up, you're taking care of yourself in the kickboxing. And then I'm sure they will start noticing you and you will start building this very important relationship that will be between you and your coach so that you can work together to achieve your goal. Okay, I hope this was valuable for you. If you have any questions or anything else, just let me know, write me a message. I'm also on Instagram, Camilla Kickboxing. Um, just get in contact with me and I will help you with whatever. But I hope it was helpful and I wish you a very, very, very great day. Bye bye.